All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about two American giants today, Ford and Tesla. And what we're really digging into are the two completely different blueprints they're using to build the next great industrial company. You've got the legacy powerhouse on one side, trying to transform itself, and on the other, the tech disruptor, just tearing up the rulebook. So it all boils down to one huge strategic question, something every leader is probably thinking about right now. When your entire industry is being turned upside down, which way do you go? Do you take the path of careful, managed transformation? Or do you make an all-in bet on total disruption? I mean, which one of these plans is actually built to last? On one side, you've got Ford. We're calling them the resilient giant. They're strategically splitting up the company to protect what's already making money so they can fund the future. And on the other side, Tesla, the unified disruption. This isn't really an automaker in the traditional sense. It's a tech company where every single product from a car to a robot is just another piece of one single deeply connected AI brain. So you see, these aren't just two companies. They're two completely different philosophies on how to win the future. To really get what they're planning for tomorrow, you've got to look at how they survived yesterday. You know, they say a company's true character, its DNA, really shows when its back is against the wall. So let's start there. Let's see how these two very different companies were forged in crisis. Now, this is fascinating. Both companies stared death in the face during the exact same storm, the 2008 financial crisis. But just look at how differently they handled it. Back in 2006, a full 2 years before the crash, Ford's new CEO, Alan Mully, mortgaged everything, and I mean everything, even the famous blue oval logo, to get a massive line of credit. Meanwhile, fast forward to 2008, and Tesla is literally hours away from going bankrupt. The only thing that saved them was a last-ditch, super high-risk cash infusion from Elon Musk himself. Ford's survival, well, it was a masterclass in looking ahead. Mullally's strategy was all about being proactive. It was about grabbing control of your own destiny before the storm hits. That moment, right there, baked a DNA of resilience and deliberate long-term planning deep into the soul of that company. And here's the perfect contrast. Tesla's survival wasn't about planning ahead, it was a Hail Mary pass. It was an all-or-nothing bet from a founder pushing every single one of his chips onto the table. That crisis forged a totally different kind of DNA in Tesla, one built on these high-stakes, founder-led gambles and a willingness to bet the entire farm on a single big idea. Okay, so keeping those very different origin stories in mind, let's look at their blueprints for today. How did those different DNAs lead to two completely opposite ways of organizing a company to tackle this new electric and AI revolution? Ford's answer, which is totally in line with that resilient DNA we talked about, is to divide and conquer. They literally split the company into three pieces. You've got Ford Blue, which is the cash machine, think F-150s and Broncos. Then there's Ford Pro, which is like a fortress dominating the commercial market. And the money from those two is used to fund Ford Model E, which is basically their EV startup living inside the main company. The logic is crystal clear. Protect the parts that are making money and use that cash to carefully grow the future. Tesla's blueprint? It's the polar opposite. It's not about division, it's about radical unification. Everything they make is just a tentacle of a single giant AI octopus. The cars? They're data-collecting robots on wheels. The Optimus robot? It uses the same AI vision system as the cars. The Megapack batteries? Same expertise. So here's the kicker. An AI breakthrough for their cars instantly makes the robots smarter too. It's a bet on exponential, not just incremental, growth. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This brings us to the core risk for each of them. For Ford, it's a straight-up race against time. Can those profitable, gas-guzzling trucks make enough cash to pay for the super expensive EV transition before people stop buying those trucks? For Tesla, it's a completely different kind of gamble. Can their massive moonshot bets on self-driving and robotics actually start making money before the EV market gets so crowded that it just kills their profit margins? So let's do this. Let's put on our board member hats for a minute. If you were sitting in that room and had to decide which of these models to back, what would the final analysis look like? Let's break it down as if we were giving that final briefing. Okay, here's the side-by-side. Ford's divisional model, it gives you clarity, it gives you resilience. Their core business is a cash-printing fortress, and this structure protects that money. But the downside is you risk being slower, maybe a little siloed. Tesla's unified model, on the other hand, gives you insane speed of innovation and the chance for a home run, a winner-take-all outcome, if that big AI bet pays off. But the risk is massive, and it's all concentrated. If self-driving and robots don't pan out, the entire house of cards could be in trouble. You can see the results of these strategies in the market. Tesla's hyper-focused, unified approach has given them a staggering, though it is starting to shrink a bit, 43.5% of the entire US electric vehicle market. That's a dominant position built on a single, powerful vision. But then you look at this, Ford's divisional strategy. It allows Ford Pro to hold on to an equally dominant 42% share of its incredibly profitable commercial market. That right there is the financial engine that makes their whole EV transition possible. So you've got two very different kinds of dominance. And that leaves us with the final big question. When it comes to long-term lasting success in an age of total disruption, which blueprint would you put your money on? The resilient fortress that's carefully managing its evolution, or the all-in bet that's risking everything for a shot at defining what's next? There's no easy answer here, but the next decade is definitely going to show us which path was the right one.